Little Red Riding Hood by Jerry Pinkney. In a small cottage there lived a sweet little girl and her dear mother, who once made her daughter a lovely Red Riding Hood. The child cherished it and wore it everywhere, so all in the village affectionately called her Little Red Riding Hood. One day, Mother cooked some delicious chicken soup and raisin muffins. "Your mother's not doing well today," she said to her daughter as she packed the warm treats. "Go see how she is faring. Mind you, little miss," she instructed, "be certain to go right there." Little Red Riding Hood set out at once. The gentle sounds of the child's footsteps in the new snow, crunch, crunch, kept her company. "Oh, how peaceful," she thought, catching the snowflakes on the tip of her tongue. "I wonder if Grandmama will be excited to see me." By and by, Little Riding Hood met a sly wolf. The wolf, who is always hungry, had a mind to eat her at once, but he thought better of it when he heard the chomp, chomp of woodcutters cutting nearby. "Where are you going, little one?" he asked in the most pleasant voice. "My grandmama is not doing well today," Little Red Riding Hood replied, forgetting that her mother did not want her to delay. "I'm taking her some chicken soup and raisin muffins." The clever creature smiled. "Does she live far from here?" he asked. "No," said Little Red Riding Hood. "Just beyond the mill, across the pond, next to the big oak tree." "I'll join you, for I'm going that way," said the wolf. He walked along with the child for a short distance, and then had an idea. "Why not collect kindling for a fire?" he suggested. "It will warm your granny's heart." "That's a wonderful idea," said the child. "Look, the snow has brought down many small branches. They will make for a good fire." Little Red Riding Hood gathered as many twigs as she could carry and tied them into a bundle with the ribbon that had fastened her grandmother's basket. In the meantime, the cunning wolf slipped away to the grandmother's cottage in great haste. Tap, tap, he knocked. "Who's there?" asked the grandmother in a frail voice. "It's me, your granddaughter," replied the crafty scoundrel, doing his best to sound like a young girl. "The door is unlocked," the grandmother responded. "Just lift the latch." Once inside, the wolf leaped onto the startling woman and gobbled her up whole. Then he shut the door and dressed himself in one of grandmother's nightgowns. After struggling to get the cap down over his ears, the wolf, who was still quite hungry, settled into the bed to wait for his next meal. Before long, Little Red Riding Hood arrived at the cottage. Tap, tap, she knocked. "Who's there?" croaked the wolf. The girl was startled by the hoarseness of her grandmother's voice. "It's me, your granddaughter," she replied. "I brought you soup and Mama's special raisin muffins, and I found kindling to start a fire. Soon you'll feel like yourself again." "Just lift the latch and come in," the voice invited her. "I can't wait to see how much you've grown." The little girl opened the door and closed it gently behind her. The wolf lay in bed with the sheets pulled up to his whiskers and the grandmother's cap pulled as low as he could manage. "Put the basket on the chair and come closer," he said sweetly as he could. "You're a head taller than when I saw you last." Little Red Riding Hood, anxious about her grandmother's poor health, went right to her bedside. "Oh, Grandmama, what great arms you have," said the child in wonder. "All the better to hug you, my dear," replied the wolf. "Oh, Grandmama, what great ears you have," she remarked. "All the better to hear you with, my dear," the wolf replied. "Oh, Grandmama, what great eyes you have!" the girl cried out. "All the better to see you, my dear," declared the wolf. "Oh, Grandmama, what great teeth you have!" she squealed. "All the better to eat you, my dear," howled the wolf. And with those awful words, the wolf leaped up from under the covers, sprang onto Little Red Riding Hood, and swallowed her whole. "Now," said the wolf with a satisfying sigh, "a long nap is all I'll need after a full meal." He climbed back into bed and fell asleep. The wretched creature snored so loudly that one of the woodcutters who was passing by the cottage wondered if something was wrong with the kindly old woman who lived there. As the man approached her door, he spotted 2 fresh sets of tracks in the snow, leading right to the front steps. One set is a small print of a child, he thought. The second appears to be a large paw print. The woodcutter cautiously entered the cottage and made his way towards the noise that rumbled so loud that the china in the cupboard rattled. "Aha," he thought when he found the wolf, with a very, very big belly, in a deep sleep. Then, to the man's surprise, the belly stirred. With one stroke of his axe, he killed the wolf. Then he cut open the animal's stomach with the old lady's sewing shears. Out jumped Little Red Riding Hood with a smile as bright as fresh snow. Then out climbed the kindly old woman. Once she saw that her granddaughter was out of harm's way, her heart filled with gratitude. Grandmother had never felt better. Later, after the woodcutter had buried the wicked wolf in the deep forest, he returned to warm himself by the fireplace, where Grandmother had started a fire from Little Red Riding Hood's kindling. All 3 were comforted with Grandmother's chicken soup and raisin muffins. The sweet raisins reminded the girl of home and of what her mother had told her. As Little Red Riding Hood readied herself to leave, her grandmother said, "Now, little miss, you be certain to go straight home." And she did.